So guys, welcome to Prep, Cook, Plate, Repeat. This week's episode, we are doing pork chops with a prickly pear mostarda and a fennel and radicchio salad. For those of you that don't know what mostarda is an Italian condiment. It contains fruit in normally fruit juice, and then it has mustard in it to preserve it. It's a ancient Roman dish. They used to use grape juice actually before unfermented grape juice, and that's what they would use to preserve the fruit in. But then the French found mustard, and then the Romans changed from grape juice to mustard instead because they like the flavor. So we're going to show you how to make mostarda, and let's get to it. So first thing, obviously, we're going to need is the pork chop. This is about this is a monster. This guy right here. That's like 1.5 inches. If you can take a look at that pork chop, tremendous. So we need to season our pork chop as always. So we need some garlic. I'm just going to cut here. Let's peel this up. And if you got a press, you can use a press. I like just doing it the old school way and just smashing it, chopping it up. Give it a good chop. And right in. Okay. Next, we're going to need a little bit of lemon juice, just a bit. Just a little acid is what we're looking for. Okay. After that, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil right in. And then some salt. And we'll pepper this right before we sear it. Just going to turn on the other side and salt that side. So I'm going to massage the garlic in there. And then I'm going to take some, I got some thyme leaves here. Really nice ones. Nice and bright green. I'm just going to pull them kind of. Now if you take a thyme leaf, a branch, kind of find a branch, pluck it, and then just pull back in the opposite direction, and the leaves come right off. So I'm going to put some thyme in here. Right in. Massage that in there. And then I'm going to let this sit out at room temperature. We don't want to put it in the refrigerator. You could marinate this for a day, but if you're going to use it a day of, always take it out a couple hours, maybe an hour and a half in advance, just to take the chill out from the center. Right? So I'm going to clean up, and we're going to start making our mostarda, so be right back. Alrighty, so first thing we're going to do is cut our shallot. A shallot's pretty much like a little red onion. It's got a lot of flavor. They use it in a lot of French cuisine. It's like how we use a lot of white onion here, or Italians use a lot of white onion. French use a lot of shallots. So you could substitute if you can't find a shallot. You can use a red onion. Cut this in half, and we're looking to really small dice this. That's what we want to do. You want everything that's in the mostarda to be on one teaspoon, essentially. So go ahead, take the skin off, and make little slices. I'm gonna turn it 90 degrees, make some more slices. And then I'm just going to go for a nice small dice. That's what you have right there. I'll do the other one. Same technique. Slice. This is how you cut an onion as well. Same exact method. And there it is. So now, put that in my bowl. And now we'll start working on the prickly pears. Now, if you never had a prickly pear, they also call it a cactus pear. It obviously comes from a cactus. Most of it gets produced in the Midwest and like dry heat, dry atmospheres, a lot of humidity. But a lot of it, there's cactus plants all over the world. There's a lot in Italy, a lot in Sicily. When I visited, there's a lot of cactus pears, prickly pears, as they call them. Obviously, they call them prickly pears because these things have like little pricks, little like spines that will. That's why you see these little, I guess, indentation marks, and that used to be where, I guess, the spine of the cactus is, and the reason it's on there is so it doesn't get eaten by another animal. That's why it grows, so the plant can survive. So we're gonna cut off the ends. As you can see, it's nice and red inside. It smells really good. You're gonna go ahead and take your peeler. I want you to peel. I'm gonna get some napkins because this will stain your board and will stain your clothes and will stain everything else. So don't want to mess up anything. I'm gonna go ahead and peel the pear. I'm pretty sure that these have seeds in them. So when you do eat them, just be careful and watch for the seeds. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. And yeah, you can see that they have little seeds inside. So I'm going to go ahead, cut it down the middle. I'm just going to do a dice on them. Little dice. Right in my bowl. I'm going to try one. They're very good. They're not too sweet at all, actually, which is why I like them. Let me grab one more. Same method. Take off the root and the other root. You could use gloves when you do these. They're gonna stain your hands a little bit. It's gonna take a couple washes to get out, but I've ruined a couple cutting boards with this juice. It's like when you cut beets and they just bleed out into your board. It's the same exact thing. Alrighty. Now the mostarda, you can substitute any fruit you want. It can be figs. It can be a Fiji apple. It could be Granny Smith apple. It could be figs. Really, whatever vegetables and whatever fruit is in season. Doesn't have to be prickly pears. It could be anything. Normally, when mostarda is made, it's made with apples. Apples and raisins is how they make them, and they serve it with pork. So that's ready. Next thing we have to do is we need some acid, but we need the skin, so we want tartness as well. We're gonna go ahead and cut the skin off of the lemon. You see where the white is? I just want the rind. I don't want that white part. I don't want too much of that. So I'm going to go ahead and just follow the shape of the lemon. Like that. Okay. Then I'm going to flatten these out. And I'm just going to do like a little chiffonade or like ribbons. I'm going to do a couple like that. Now, if you like more lemon flavor, you can use as much rind as you like. I'm just going to use about 2 or 3 pieces of rind. I don't want the lemon to overpower everything. All right. So, now I got some seeds here. These are brown mustard seeds that we're going to use. If you don't have brown mustard seeds, you can use coriander seeds as well. We have a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. And then we have a 1/4 cup of water, kind of to give this a little body and help cook down. And then we also have 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar. We're going to use a little bit of honey. And we're going to do about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. All right, so before we actually make the mostarda, we're going to sear our pork chops. Because our pork chops are so thick, they're going to take a little longer to cook, okay? Pork chop in. I'm going to put this on top as a weight. Kind of weight it down, get a nice hard sear in it. We're going to sear it about 3 minutes on one side and then probably about a minute on the other side, and then cast iron right into an oven, 340, 350 degrees. And we're going to cook it till it's about 145 is the ideal temperature you're looking for. If you don't have a thermometer, a good way to measure pork or meat is by your hand. So your palm right here is rare. This is rare. You see how much it's no resistance at all? Just goes right in. This, your index finger to your thumb, that's mid-rare. My middle finger to thumb, that's medium. And then my ring finger, that's well done. That's a good indicator. See, well done is like really hard. You're looking for about a medium on this pork chop. About 145 is what you're going to get. All right? So I'm going to cook it for a few minutes and then we'll be right back. All right, so to a hot pan, I want you to go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon of my seeds here, right in. And what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to kind of toast these seeds in the olive oil because I want to bring out, you know, their notes that they have. So pretty much just toasting them. And also we're flavoring the oil at the same time. So that's a big key, right? Because whatever we add to this is going to have this flavor. So this key is very important. This step is very important. So you can see the seeds are starting to react a little bit. And that's what you want. So this mostarda is going to turn obviously red on us because the prickly pears here are red. So if they weren't red, the mostarda would kind of be like more of a, maybe a gold color almost, maybe a gold-ish, light reddish because of the vinegar, but these are going to be super red now. So that's okay. So just toast your seeds just a bit. It's starting to get crispy already. I see that it's starting to turn colors. Okay, now, next, I'm going to throw in the shallot and the lemon rinds right in before I throw in the prickly pears. I want to saute this just a bit. Kind of introducing the shallots and the lemon to the seeds. Olive oil. So we're building a base right now. You're ready. You already smell the rinds right away. As it hits that oil. Okay. Now I will add these in. Right in. And what I kind of do is I want to get a little color on them. I want to kind of dry roast them almost. When you heat up fruit, it tends to change its flavor. So what it tastes when it's cold in its raw state tastes very different when it's hot and heated to a certain temperature. So these are going to change taste on us. See, I don't have a lot of liquid in this pan. That's what you're looking for. You want to kind of dry roast everything. Getting a little bit of color on them. That's good. They're becoming a little sticky now because they're releasing their glucose and natural sugar, that little syrup that they have inside. Okay, now we're going to add our sugar right in. Go ahead and mix this together. See how it's starting to turn to a syrup? That's nice. That's what you're looking for. Next, look at that beautiful color. That's a beautiful color. Next, we need some acid, red wine vinegar, right in. Bring that to a boil. Yeah. Yep. That smells good. Next, just a little bit of dilution and add some water right in. Now, we're going to let this come to a nice boil. We want this liquid to reduce down. And what it's doing at the same time when it's reducing down, it's cooking our fruit and it's cooking everything else. And the fruit is going to be really like kind of broken up. It's not going to be as solid as it is now. That's going to be all like kind of mush. So that's what we are looking for. We're going to add a little bit of lemon juice right in. And then we're going to add a little bit of butter right in. So we're going to let this go to our boil. We're going to leave it on a boil, like a nice hard simmer, you would say. Not super hard boil, but a nice hard simmer. You can see that. And that's going to take about 6 or 7 minutes or so to really reduce down and the fruit to soften. So when that does happen, we'll be right back. All right, so take a look at the mostarda. You can see how much thicker it's gotten. The water has reduced, and kind of now what you have is a lot of like a beautiful syrup. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to add a teaspoon of Dijon mustard right in. I always add it at the end. I don't want to add this at the beginning because then your mustard's going to break. We don't want to do that. We're going to add it right here. This is going to give it a little tanginess. Mix that in. Look at that. That's beautiful. And that, when it cools down, it's going to thicken up. Mostarda, you can make this. It'll last maybe a month at least in your refrigerator because everything is already preserved. Right? You got the vinegar in here. You got mustard in here, so it's preserved. It won't go bad on you. So we're going to let this cool down. Give it a good clean. And then we're going to start making our fennel and radicchio salad. So I'll be right back. All right, so let's move on to our salad. We have radicchio. Cut the radicchio in half. The radicchio is very tart, super peppery, super tart. So whatever dressing you normally make with radicchio, you gotta do something that's got a little sweetness to it. I know a lot of places like you'll see tricolored salad in like Italian restaurants. And that normally is like romaine, mescalin, and then some radicchio in there. You can do it with Italian vinaigrette, but it needs to be something a little sweet to break up this peppery and bitterness that it has. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of just cut some thin strips, some thin ribbons. That's what you want right there. That's it. I'll cut a little bit, put it right into my bowl. And then I have a mandolin here. This mandolin is the best. This gives you really accurate cuts, on point every single time. The little thing down here is the adjuster on what width you want. So let's see here. I'll go right there. All right. So I'm gonna cut this fennel. Before I cut it, I'm gonna cut the top, the stalks. We don't really use these. There's way too much fiber in this. You don't want to use that. So I'm going to use the top, though. I want to use a little bit of top for a little freshness. And I'm going to save a little bit to garnish later on when we're done. All right. Cut it in half. What you're going to do is, you can use a knife as well. I just like this because it gives me really nice thin cuts. So I'm just going to kind of just glide it right on there. This is such a great tool that was invented. And that's what you get. Same size each one. We're going to go right in. Okay. Next, a little extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon juice, A little acid. Okay. I'm just going to put a little bit of honey right over it, just a bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. That's it. Pepper also. Can't forget the pepper. Right in. Boom. Go ahead and give it a nice toss. You want everything to be coated. There we go. That's pretty nice. Alright. I'm going to put this in the fridge, keep it nice and cold. Pork chop is done, and we're going to start plating up. So be right back. Alright, so everything is ready. Let's plate up. Pork chop has been resting about 10 minutes or so. Nice and tender. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, cut the pork chop. Super hot. You can cut it or you can leave it leave a hole. I like to cut it just for presentation reasons. There we go. That's a nice pork chop. You can see it. You can tell by the bone when there's juice there. Look at that. It's perfect inside. That's what you want right there. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to go ahead, cut this up. Nice strips. Beautiful. Up to the side. Alrighty. So we're gonna put down salad first. Right on the plate. Just like that. We're going to put our pork. I kind of do this. You can see that pork is still juicy. Go ahead, put them like that. Kind of hanging up on the bone. Put a little bit more salad. There you go. And then a little bit of the mostarda. You can always serve this on the side. You don't have to put it on. But I like to put a little bit on. Just a little bit like that. Almost looks like cherry compote. I like to put just a little bit around the plate. Just give it a little drag. Just like that. And just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on the pork for flavor. There you have it. Super simple, super easy, not hard at all. And you got the mostarda recipe. You can just take that same recipe and switch out the fruit. Like I said, any fruit that's in season, your favorite fruit, whatever it may be. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. We're also offering virtual cooking classes online down in the box. You're going to see prepcookplaterepeat.com. Sign up for some virtual classes that we're doing. We have upcoming classes, and we also have your own customizable class. We'll see you next time. Thank you.